friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu. Today we will discuss the most important current affairs of 10th September 2020. And you can see here the two most important news, that is the first World Solar Technology Summit and the North Top Government renamed its satellite as a Kalpana Chawla. So before proceeding, I want to tell you that you can subscribe our current affair PDFs by visiting our site, that is affairscloud/current affairs. There is a subscription button to subscribe these current affairs. What you will get in the subscription, you will get English current affairs as well as in Hindi. These current affairs provided in on the daily basis, weekly basis and the monthly basis. You will also get weekly test and the monthly test and even the daily question and answer PDF. These current affairs are provided at very minimal cost. If you want 10% extra discount on that minimal cost, you can use code that is ASH10. ASH is my name initial, that is Ashu, and 10 means 10% discount. Now let's start our current affairs, and please watch the video till end to know all the current affairs and important statistics of the 10th September 2020. Let's start with the first question, and first question is, which state launched the country's first integrated air ambulance service? Now, what is the meaning of air ambulance service? You all know that it means it is a capable for long distance emergency medical transportation, and it is also combined with the helicopter and land ambulance service, which is a last mile connectivity. Now, it is very important that which state launched this type of air ambulance service and is the first in the country. And the answer is very simple. Answer is D, that is Karnataka. You can see here Karnataka started. This is the air ambulance helicopter and this is the on land ambulance service. So Mr. Yediyurappa, that is the Chief Minister of Karnataka, inaugurated this type of facility. You can see here it is the country's first integrated air ambulance service located in Bangalore, that is the Jakur Aerodrome. It is the first air ambulance operating from South India to provide services from medical emergency. So you have to remember that this is the first air ambulance operating from the South India. It is capable of long distance emergency medical transportation, I already told you, and it has helicopter and the land ambulance service. And recent related news to the Karnataka is that state of Karnataka observed 18th June as a mask day. Now you can see what is the purpose of the mask day. It is create to awareness the general public on the importance of wearing a mask, using sanitizer, washing hands, and etc. related to the COVID-19 safing. And second news is the Karnataka is all set to roll out the first of its kind in the country's state health register. This is very important for the health purposes or the health facility, that it will maintain the health record of all the 6.5 crore citizens of the Karnataka. It means all the citizens of the Karnataka will be registered under this state health register. There any medicine, there any medical record, they are taking any medicine. So this is all about the Karnataka recent news. And what about Karnataka? You already know that Chief Minister is B.S. Yediyurappa and capital is Bangalore. So some important about national parks in the Karnataka is Bandipur National Park, Bannerghatta National Park, and Kudremukh mines, that is very famous iron mine. There is also a Chikmagaluru mine of the iron. There are 5 mines in the basically Karnataka area. That is the Chikmagaluru, Tumkuru basically. That is the Kudremukh. One is Bellary, that is also an iron mine. These are the important iron mines. I already told you the national parks also. That is the Bandipur National Park, Bannerghatta National Park. There is a Kudremukh mines, Nagarhole National Park. Yes, Nagarhole National Park is there. And there is a Kali Tiger Reserve also. Kali Tiger Reserve. So much about Karnataka. Now next news, which company becomes first PSU in power sector to undertake asset monetization? This is the keyword, that is the asset monetization, and second keyword is the first PSU through infrastructure investment trust model. Now first you have to understand what is the infrastructure investment trust model. It means spend money on that assets that will provide you income. That's why we are saying it as asset. It means manage income generating infrastructure assets, typical offering investors a regular yield and a liquid method of investing in infrastructure project. So then on the continuous rate, you will get some returns from that infrastructure project. So what is the name of that first PSU which is related to the power sector, who started this asset monetization through infrastructure investment trust. It means this PSU will also invest in that infrastructure project, which will provide a regular yield and a liquid method of investing in infrastructure projects. Now, which company is that? And it is, answer is very simple. That is A, Power Grid Corporation of India's Limited. You can see here, this is the Power Grid logo, and this is the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs who approved this type of investment by the Power Grid. And the monetization of assets of Power Grid will be done through the Infrastructure Investment Trust model. I already told you what is Infrastructure Trust model. Infrastructure Investment Trust model, trust that manage income generating infrastructure. I already told you, investment in that projects which is creating income, it means assets, typically offering investors a regular yield and a liquid method of investing in infrastructure project. So it is like a capital expenditure of the company. What is the difference between the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure? Now, government is not using these type of terms in the budget. Before 2017 or 18, government is using these type of terms, that is capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure is related to those expenditure which is creating income to the government. Now we are talking about the company, it means those expenditure which is creating income to this Power Grid company. So this is capital expenditure. Revenue is just a liability on the government, like subsidies, like pensions. These are the revenue expenditure. It is not creating any income, but it is a social responsibility of the government. Now, we are not talking about revenue expenditure, we are talking about the capital expenditure. What about Power Grid Corporation? That is chairman and managing director is K. Shrikant. No need to remember. If you belongs to Haryana, then you have to remember this. K. Shrikant, or you belongs to Delhi, then you can remember this, K. Shrikant. Headquarter is Gurugram, Haryana. Now, next question, who inaugurated first World Solar Technology Summit? This is very important question and most important question of the day. Most important question of the day. And this first World Solar Technology Summit is organized by the India Started International Solar Alliance. Yes, this is started or organized by the International Solar Alliance. And by seeing this, the word, that is the World Solar Technology Summit, you can observe that why this summit took place. So it is very easy. This summit took place for the new technology or the research related to the solar technology or the solar inventions. So tell me, who inaugurated the first World Solar Technology? Tell me answer within 5 seconds, guys. And answer is very simple. This is Shri Narendra Modi ji. Narendra Modi ji inaugurated this first World Solar Technology Summit on 8 September 2020. And this is organized by International Solar Alliance and the government organization, that is the FICCI. That is, FICCI stands for Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Now, this is the first World Solar Technology Summit, was held virtually, which was organized by, I already told you, International Solar Alliance and the FICCI. The summit aims at let us make the sun brighter. This is the main theme, or you can say this is the main theme of the International Solar Alliance, by bringing together key stakeholders. So main purpose is very simple, that main focus on new technology and innovation in the field of the solar energy. So this International Solar Alliance also launched a technology journal. It means it is type of a magazine which named as the Solar Compass 360. It means this magazine will be related to the solar energy or the solar innovation or the inventions or the new technologies. So who is the Director General of International Solar Alliance? That is the Upendra Tripathi. And very important, International Solar Alliance headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana. So this is very important. Now you have to just remember what is International Solar Alliance. International Solar Alliance is started in November 2015. It is an initiative of Narendra Modi government and the France government. So you have to remember which country started International Solar Alliance. It is jointly launched by India and France during the 21st session of the Paris Agreement, that is the Conference of Parties 21. So when they are meeting under the Paris Agreement in 2015, they also started this International Solar Alliance, that is India and France. So total countries, now this is very important, that how many countries are member of this International Solar Alliance. And recently one Republic of Nicaragua also entered this International Solar Alliance agreement, and it become the 87th country. It means total members become 87. So Nicaragua is in the Central America. So Nicaragua become the 87th country. So this is very important because examiner can ask this type of question that which country recently added under the International Solar Alliance, that is the Republic of Nicaragua. And what is the purpose of International Solar Alliance? The same purpose that to investment in the solar energy, so that we can achieve the clean energy targets by the year 2020, that is maintained by the that is sustainable developmental goals. So it is to develop 1000 gigawatt, that is all over world, and to create US $1000 billion in the investment in the solar energy. So what is the India target in the solar energy? In 2022, till 2022, India will generate 100 gigawatt of solar energy, 60 gigawatt of the wind energy, 10 gigawatt of the bioenergy, and 5 gigawatt of the small hydro project. So it is total becomes 175 gigawatt. I already told you in every daily class. Now moving to the next question, India and which African country joint commission held its first meeting through video conferencing? So this is just to tie up the bilateral relation and to strengthen the bilateral relation between the two countries, that is India and the one is the African country. So you have to tell me which African country recently held the joint commission meeting through video conferencing. So this is not so much important news, but this is the African country. That's why this is important, because India is tying up with many African countries and to increase their bilateral relation between the two countries. So tell me answer, and answer is very simple, that is B, Angola. Yes guys, answer is Angola. You can see here it is for the trade between the two countries, to enhancing the trade between the two countries, that is India and Angola. So both the countries discuss about the trade and the relations between the two countries. They also discuss about the health, pharmaceutical, defense, agriculture, food processing, digitization, telecommunication, and various sectors, because it is not for the one sector. So both countries signed 3 pacts between the external affairs ministers of the two countries. The main out of the 3 pacts is the memorandum of understanding to cooperate in the field of health. So major issue or the major concern on the ongoing days is health because of the COVID-19. That's why every country is signing pact with the related to the health. Now you can see here India and Angola agreed to expand their trade relation. I already told you that is in the various sectors. The MOU signed between the Ministry of External Relations of Angola and Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service. So this is the training MOU, that is the memorandum of understanding, that is Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service. Second session of the Angola-India Joint Commission will be held in New Delhi. So the date is not decided because it is according to the mutually convenient date, but it will be held in 2022. So this is one kind of important news, that in 2020 it is the first meeting between Angola and India, and second meeting will be in the 2022. It will be held in New Delhi. What about Angola? That capital is the Luanda and currency is the Angola Kwanza. So capital is the Luanda and the currency is the Angola Kwanza. Now moving to the next question, and this is from the picture, learn from picture. That is India's child mortality rate declined from 3.4 million in 1990 to 8,24,000 in 2019. It means it is because of better health facilities, you can say, better immunization, better health facilities, better vaccination, new technology in the medical science. And this is mentioned under the report levels and trends in the child mortality report. You have to remember this one, that this thing mentioned under the levels and trends in the child mortality report 2020. It is jointly released by many departments, but there are 2 departments important. One is the UNICEF, and the second one is the World Health Organization. So 2 departments, one is the UNICEF and second is the WHO. And according to this report, that in 2019, 49% of deaths under the age of 5 years of children occur in the 5 countries, that is Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Ethiopia. And you can see the 4 or the 3 countries, that is the Congo, Ethiopia, Nigeria, belongs to Africa. So Africa belongs to the maximum poverty driven country, and India's under 5 mortality rate is 34. It means under the age of 5, how many children are dying out of 1000, so in 1 year. So this is the 34. So nothing to remember in that news, but you have to remember just the name of the report. And if you are preparing for the UPSC mains, then you can write that India child mortality rate downs, or you can say all over world child mortality rate downs. So there are one or two more things to note down here. There are 2 or 3 types of mortality rate. One is the infant mortality rate. What is the infant mortality rate? It is number of deaths among children less than 1 year out of 1,000 during a specific time interval, that is the 1 year. Next is the neonatal. Neonatal means that is number of deaths among the children lesser than 28 days of age during a given time interval. Infant, the age of child considered is 1 year. In neonatal, the age considered is less than 28 days. And what is under 5 mortality? The name signifies that the deaths among children less than age of 5. So this is the 3 type of the mortality rate. That is the infant mortality rate, neonatal. Neonatal means that the newborn baby, and the under 5 mortality rate, that is the 5 years of age. So you have to remember these 2 things also. Now, moving to the next news, which organization will lead the procurement and supply of COVID-19 vaccine? Second most important news of the day. Second most. One is the Solar Alliance, and second is the this. Which organization will lead the procurement and supply of COVID-19 vaccines? And this is just to ensure that all the countries have safe, fast and equitable access to initial doses of vaccine when they are available. It means now it is not available, but when this is available, so they want to ensure that all the countries have safe, fast and equitable access to the initial doses of vaccine. So you have to tell me which organization started this procurement and supply of COVID-19 vaccine. So the organization name is very simple. You can eliminate the option, and the option is UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund. Now you can see here UNICEF lead global procurement of supply of COVID vaccine, and WHO will help UNICEF to procure and the supply of the vaccine. So it is for the safe, fast and equitable access to the initial vaccines. Procurement and distribution in evolve 170 economies all over the world has the potential to make it the largest and fastest ever kind of operation. So they want to distribute these kind of vaccine related to COVID-19 to 170 economies, and it will make the largest and the fastest ever distribution of the vaccine. UNICEF will collaborate with the Pan American Health Organization. So UNICEF will not do alone. It is a collaboration between the UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization. UNICEF is the world largest single vaccine buyer. Even you can say UNICEF procure 2 billion doses of various vaccines annually for just the routine immunization, or the you can say for the 100 countries. So they can ensure that medical facilities will be available to all the countries. So what about UNICEF? Executive Director is Henrietta H4. You have to remember this. Executive Director headquarters is in New York. So you have to remember all other headquarters. That is UNICEF headquarters. I already told you that is in New York, and WHO Geneva. EU is in the Brussels, Belgium, and WTO is in Geneva. So this you have to remember these all things. Now, next question from the picture and learn from picture series, that Reliance Retail and Silver Lake, that is a partnership between the 2 companies. So you have to remember this name, Silver Lake, to invest 7,500 to acquire 1.75% equity share in the Reliance Retail venture. So just one news, and this is very simple, that Silver Lake company will take over 1.75% equity share from the Reliance company. So they want to invest 7,500 crore, and with this they will acquire 1.75% equity share. Now moving to the next question. Government of India and which bank signed a $500 million loan agreement for the Delhi Meerut RRTS, that is the regional rapid transit system. It means between the 2 states, or between the 2 UTs, or the states or UTs. So this is the regional rapid transit system investment project. So you have to remember 2 or 3 keywords in this news. That is the Delhi Meerut regional rapid transit system. So it is when Delhi and the Meerut means Delhi and the UP. So it is the regional rapid transit system. And the second thing, one bank is providing some amount of money. So you have to tell me which bank will provide that type of money to the government of India to complete this project Delhi Meerut RRTS, that is the regional rapid transit system. So give me answer. So this is the 82 kilometer, that is the Delhi to Meerut RRTS corridor, and is the first of its kind in India. This will improve the regional connectivity and mobility in the national capital region, especially in the NCR areas. So this is very important. The speed of this Delhi Meerut transit system is 180 kilometer per hour. It is like a metro, and it is more faster than metro. So tell me answer, and the answer is very simple. Asian Development Bank. Yes, guys, Asian Development Bank. So you can see Asian Development Bank will provide $500 million loan to Delhi Meerut RRTS corridor. Now see here, this is 82 kilometer Delhi Meerut, that is the Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. So it is first of its kind, that is to improve the regional connectivity between the two states. So otherwise you can see there are metros between the areas of the state, but this is between the two states. It is connecting Sarai Kale Khan in Delhi to Modipuram. So you have to remember this if you are belonging to UP and if you are belonging to the Delhi. But this is also important for the national news, that is the Sarai Kale Khan to Modipuram. So what about Asian Development Bank? Asian Development Bank headquarters is in Manila, Philippines, and president is the Matsugu Osakawa, and member countries are 68. So you have to remember two things. That is very important, is the headquarter, that is Manila or Philippines, or member countries are 68. Now moving to the next question. Who launched Magnum Children Benefit Fund, an open-ended fund for parents to invest for their children? Those parents who want to save for their children, they can open this type of the mutual fund account, that is the saving account. It is a type of a saving account, that is a children benefit fund. So by this investment, there is a lock-in period. It means you can lock the fund for 5 years or more than 5 years, until a child attains the age of majority, whenever it is earlier. It means you can invest for your children and you can't withdraw the money from that fund until the age of 5 years, because there is a lock-in period, or until the child attains the age of majority, whichever you want or whichever is earlier. So this is very much important for the children's future. So tell me, which mutual fund company started this type of children's benefit fund for the parents or for the children's? So tell me answer within 5 seconds. Yes, guys, answer is very simple, and answer is A, SBI Mutual Fund. You can see here SBI Mutual Fund is starting this type of mutual fund benefit for the children's. So it is the children benefit fund. So as the name suggests, it is by the SBI. It is known as SBI Magnum Children Benefit Fund. So I already told you there is a lock-in period of 5 years or until the age of the majority. Investment can be made only in the name of the minor. You can open the investment account with the name of your children, or with a joint account, which will tell you about your name and about the minor's name. What about SBI Mutual Fund? Headquarters in Mumbai. Managing Director and Chief Executive is Vinay M. Tonse. And recent related news regarding this news is the Axis Bank, India's third largest private sector bank, has introduced Liberty Saving Account for the Indian youth. Now it is for the changing lifestyle needs of the young and the digitally interested Indians. So it offers the complimentary 20,000 per year hospital insurance, and it is very beneficial for the COVID-19, and it also covers the COVID-19 hospital expenses. So this is by the Axis Bank. This is the Liberty. Liberty means freedom saving account for the Indian youth. Now next is the Shagun Gift and Insurance, started by the SBI General Insurance. If you want to gift someone, that is a watch, perfume, don't gift that. Gift Shagun Gift and Insurance. So it will provide accidental death and partial or total disability, permanent and temporary disability, any disability resulting from an accident. So it will cover all type of disabilities and the accidental insurance. So it will be very useful, and you can gift to someone, to your friend, to your family person, to your relative, any type of person. So it is started by the SBI General Insurance. So you have to remember these two things. These are very important. Now moving to the next news. WeHub partner with which company to support women entrepreneurs in the agriculture sector in both urban and rural areas? So two words. One is company name is the WeHub. It is actually a woman-led startup under the government of Telangana. And second company, you have to tell me which partnered to entrepreneur or to support the woman entrepreneurship in the sector of agriculture in the both areas, that is the urban areas and the rural areas. Now tell me answer, guys. Yes, it is very simple, and answer is NutriHub. This is NutriHub. It is also a type of a incubator to provide the needs of the startups in the nutri cereal sector. It means in the nutrition sector. So WeHub is a woman-led startup, so they want to support women entrepreneurs. And second is the NutriHub. It is the incubator or the startup provider in the nutri cereal sector. So women's understand very much that is the nutri sector. So WeHub and the nutri sector partner. So this is partner because they want to provide the needs of the startup in the nutri cereal sector. NutriHub will support the WeHub startup in the technical advice, testing, product development, laboratory assessment, equipment, and technical staff through its existing R&D facilitation. NutriHub will provide technical support regarding the food and processing industry, so that the women who want to test their products, they want to any technical advice, they want to laboratory assess any type of thing, the NutriHub will provide, and it will provide to the WeHub women entrepreneurs, so that they can enhance their capability under the agriculture sector or the nutri cereal sector. So it is provided to the urban and the rural areas. So now next news from the picture, that is SBI collaborated ACI universal payment. The keyword is that ACI universal payment. So ACI is the global provider of real-time digital payment software and solution, and they want to modernize the payment infrastructure of the SBI. So both tie-up that SBI collaborated with the ACI Universal Payment to modernize its payment switching system. No need to remember anything else. So just they want to modernize their payment switching system, so that the fraud management solution for debit cards, mobile banking, internet banking, prepaid, or the UPI payments can be in the safe hands, so that the fraud and the criminal activities can be reduced under this payment sector. Now moving to the next, this is again from the picture. Every day, one company or the one international rating agency is predicting India GDP in the financial year of 2020-21. Now this is the Goldman Sachs. This is the Goldman Sachs, SACHS, Goldman Sachs, an American brokerage company. It predicted India's economy is the worst hit during the financial year 2020-21, and it is contracted to 14.8%. It is contracted to 14.8%. So you have to remember, according to Goldman Sachs, how much will be the India's GDP contracted in the year 2020-21? That is the 14.8%. Every day in the 9 September news, you can see in the video that there is a company named Fitch Rating. So Fitch Rating, they also predicted about that, and Fitch Rating predicted as 10.5% contraction. So you have to remember this, that Fitch Rating predicted 10.5%, that you can see here 10.5%, and Goldman Sachs predicted 14.8%. Now moving to next question. Who is honored with Indira Gandhi Peace Prize? That is the third most important question of the day. Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019. So guys, tell me answer within 5 seconds. This is very simple, and this is a very important question of the day. Now this is the third important question of the day. Now tell me answer within 5 seconds. Yes, answer is very simple. That is the David Attenborough. David Attenborough is the British journalist. Even you can say he's the British broadcaster and even natural historian. And this is a virtual program, and Shri Manmohan Singh, as former Prime Minister of India, awarded Sir David Attenborough a award of Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019. It consists of 25 lakh rupees and the citation also. Now you can see here David Attenborough. Now what about this? Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh conferred the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize 2019 to Sir David Attenborough, a British broadcaster. He wrote and presented the BBC nature documentary series. I think you have seen that, The Living Planet, a portrait of the Earth. Indira Gandhi Peace Prize started in 1986. It is like a type of peace prize. It means it is presented to the individuals or organizations who are working to ensure international peace and development, ensuring the scientific discoveries are used to expand the scope of freedom and the better humanity, and creating new international economic order. Now moving to the next news, and it is from the picture that Samriti Mandana and the Bhuvneshwar Kumar both become the brand ambassadors of Players Sport, that is the new gaming destination. So both the cricketers, that is the Samriti Mandana and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, will feature in the future brand campaigns of the Players Sport, that is the POT RT, you can say also say that is the POT. Player sport and promote the player sport through the engagement activities. You all know about the Samriti Mandana and the Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Samriti Mandana is the second Indian cricketer to feature in a foreign T20 league. You have to remember this, second Indian cricketer to feature in a foreign T20 league. Now, tell me in the comment box which is the first woman cricketer who featured in the foreign T20 league. Now, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, all you know. And moving to the next news, Northrop Grumman Corporation has named its first Cygnus spacecraft NG-14 as. So, Cygnus spacecraft is the American cargo spacecraft, and its name is NG-14. But Northrop Grumman Corporation renamed it as, tell me answer within 5 seconds, and it is very simple. Answer is V, that is the SS Kalpana Chawla. So she was selected in honor of her outstanding place in the history as the first woman of Indian descent to go to the space. So all you know about the Kalpana Chawla, she belongs to Haryana. So Kalpana Chawla is the second Cygnus to be named for a member of the crew. But first one, it was the Rick Husband, who was also named as the Cygnus spacecraft. You can see here, she was selected in honor her to outstanding first woman of Indian descent to go on space. Kalpana Chawla is the second Cygnus to be named for a member of the STS-107 crew. Otherwise, first was the Rick Husband. Columbia's last commander was similarly honored in 2016. It means one Cygnus spacecraft also renamed after the name of the Rick Husband, and second is the SS Kalpana Chawla. So you have to remember this. Just this much information is decent. Now, related news to the ISRO, that is ISRO announced that Chandrayaan-2 has captured images of craters of the moon by terrain mapping camera and named one of the crater as Sarabhai crater. So you have to remember this, the name of the crater is the Sarabhai crater. Now next is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration renamed its Wide Field Infrared Display telescope in next generation space as Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. So you have to remember this name, that is the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. This is very important name because she is known as the mother of NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, and she is the NASA's first chief astronomer who paved the way for the space telescope focus on the broader universe. So that's why the telescope named as the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. And this belongs to the NASA. So moving to the next news, the UK India Business Council renewed its memorandum of understanding with which state government for the industrial development of the state. So for the industrial development, UK India Business Council already signed a MOU, but they renewed this MOU with which state for the industrial development. Very simple news. You have to tell me answer within 5 seconds, and your time period starts now. Tell me answer, guys, within 5 seconds, and answer is very simple. Answer is Telangana. Yes, guys, it is Telangana. You can see here UK India Business Council for the industrial development. Just remember this news, that is only for the industrial development. Now moving to the next question, which state government launched online portal for filling of customer complaint? This is the first state or UT in India who started this type of customer complaint portal. And answer is very simple, that is Delhi. You can see here, this is Arvind Kejriwal started online portal filling of consumer complaints. So consumer complaints can file on the online portal. Delhi is the first state to have this type of system, and this portal is started by the Delhi State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. So it is developed by the NIC, that is the National Informatics Center, and State Bank of India is providing payment gateway for payment of fees digitally. It means if you want to complain, then there is some amount of money you have to provide it. It means some amount of charges are there to resolve that type of complaint. So moving to the next question, which state government signed a MOU with United Nations World Food Program for take-home ration scheme? So this is again very important because to reduce the poverty, this kind of scheme is very, very useful. And this is started by the State Rural Livelihood Mission. So you have to tell me which state government signed this type of MOU with the United Nations World Food Program for take-home ration scheme. And this is Yes, guys, this is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh State Rural Livelihood Mission signed a memorandum of understanding with United Nations World Food Program, through which take-home ration will now be manufactured and supplied by the women self-help group. So it will provide the employment to the women and it will encourage the women empowerment. You can see here take-home rations are for the Anganwadi centers. So it is signed, I already told you, and around 200 women self-help group enterprise will gain business. It means this type of women or these type of Anganwadi workers will get jobs, and they will also enhance the women empowerment, and it will generate a 1200 crore annual turnover. What about the recent news that Uttar Pradesh and the e-commerce platform Flipkart signed a memorandum of understanding for releasing and for you can say promoting the products of UP under the One District One Product scheme. So it is a scheme of the Uttar Pradesh. Now, this news I already covered in the 6th or 7th, I think 6th or 7th September video. You can see here 6th or 7th or the 5th September video. It is a lazy pay. This is started by PayU Finance. Lazy Pay is a subsidiary of PayU Finance. Launched a first of its kind digital revolving credit card called Lazy Plus. So it will give you approximately 1 lakh of credit limit, and you can use that card because its name suggests that you are lazy. That's why you are not paying money now. So you can buy now and pay later concept. So this is a Lazy Pay. So moving to the next, again from the picture, this is again very important news. It will be 101% asked in the exam, that Vodafone and Idea now integrated new brand identity, that is VI. So in the mobile network, if you have Vodafone network, then you can say that on the upper left corner you will see now VI logo, that is the Vodafone Idea. It is pronounced as the V. It is pronounced here as the V. And it is the largest merger of the telecom industry in the world. It set the company on a future journey to provide strong digital experience to 1 billion Indians on its 4G network. So that's why Vodafone and Idea merged, and now it is a new logo, that is the VI, together for tomorrow, and it is pronounced here as the V. Now moving to the next news, and it is again from the picture. One person passed away, and he's very famous actor of the Telugu region. You can say actor Jaya Prakash Reddy passed away. You can see in the picture that actor Jaya Prakash Reddy passed away. He is a veteran Telugu actor and popularly known as the JP. He was died at the age of 74 due to cardiac arrest, and he belongs to Andhra Pradesh. And his last film was Serileru Nekkevar. And this film is very important for JP Reddy, because this film is starring Mahesh Babu. Now moving to next question, and all questions are over and there is no question left. So thank you for watching this video. Subscribe our channel if you like this video, and if you want daily current affairs, even we are starting from September onwards, that is the weekly current affair and the monthly current affairs in Hindi as well as in English. So give us likes, 300 likes, guys. If you give us 300 likes, we will start topic related issues like election commission, like comptroller and auditor general, or any topic. So we can make videos on that. It provide us the motivation. So give us 300 likes or more, so that we can make more videos on the different topics. So it is a promise of Affairs Cloud PDF that it will boost your confidence on the General Awareness section. So to subscribe our current affair PDFs on the daily, weekly and the monthly basis, you can subscribe 1 year current affairs by visiting our site, that is Affairs Cloud.